everyone. Today we are continuing in my kitchen series. This is the fourth one and we are looking at the pantry. We're also looking at the big switcheroo and moving some things around. So join me as we look at not only this pantry, but the one that is in my laundry room, because I will be moving stuff around just like in the other videos. I've been in this kitchen 5 years and it's time to make it work better for us. I'm going to link the playlist below, so let's get started. So in the pantry, the first thing that I want to do is all my platters that are down below, and I'll show you, I want to see if I can switcheroo them and move them to my corner bottom cabinet. I don't know that they'll fit because of the shelf that's in there, but we're going to try it. If they have to stay in the pantry, that's fine, but let's try it. I want you to see how massive this is. It's huge. This is the turkey one, and we have 3 sizes. This is the biggest. So I've moved the holder over. Let me see if I can bring you in. Tight quarters. I just want to make sure that I can get to those cake plates that the Fantasy Me is planning on using. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me see if the next biggest one fits. This one I've used for salads. I can always turn it horizontal, but I think it's gonna work. I'm loving it. Okay, the next biggest one is this for veggies. Oh, you know what? That one up front is probably gonna hit that shelf, but if I do it horizontal, it should be okay. Let's see. It's this big platter right here. Yeah, let's see. That should work. And then this one, if I can't stand up. It worked! I'm so excited. Man, what a difference this has made with the big switcheroo. I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that. All right, let's keep going. I celebrated too soon. Why do I have another one extra? And how did I fit these all in here? Oh, that nestled inside that one. Okay. This one is from Walmart. It is adjustable, so I'm going to move one of those forward, and then I think we'll be good. But I was able to get them in here, but let me do that and I'll come back. Okay, I adjusted it. It works. I can still get to my cake pans, so I'm very happy with that, and it frees up the floor space in the pantry. So let's get back to the pantry. Let me give you a tour of the pantry as it exists now. So my door that has the container store shelves has barbecue stuff, spices, baking items, vanilla, packets and stuff. I am not gonna do anything in here except maybe check a few expiration dates. I'll do those off camera, but everything else in here I think should be fine. It's really here that I wanna deal with the shelving, so let's do that. Up top, I have large containers in storage. That's for his barbecuing, for like potlucks, and it's the aluminum pans. To some to-go cups. I may donate some of those to the thrift shop. And then I have pie storage and other storage containers, which is good, especially for traveling. I have my extras up here, so being out in the country, if I run out, I can just grab and go. I have, this is a little bit out of control, overflowing. This is also my condiment extras, seasoning extras. My cookie cutters are back there. Crackers, napkins. This is what I had been using for freezer storage or for giveaway whenever family comes and I send food home with them, and then access to paper towels. I may move this down to where I put my other freezer stuff in a cabinet. I'm not sure yet. Then oats baking pancakes. This blender, I also thought about maybe moving down to the left of the sink down here. And this is where I have all the like freezer containers, and I've got room and I've got an idea, although I don't know if it'll work. So we'll see. I have these canned goods. I don't necessarily need all of these in here. The fruit one I use all the time, but these I don't reach for all the time. So I might be able to put these in the laundry room pantry. Then these are jellies back here. Most of the time we don't eat jellies unless it is for sandwiches or cream cheese or even for glazes. So I like that they're nestled back in there. This is like pasta stuff, and it's just contained. I know olives are not pasta, but they're easy to access there. And then this is my oils and stuff. These are my sugars and baking items. Dried fruit, jello, chocolate chips, nuts are in here. And guys, I don't know if you know, but the stevia, I just looked at the bag. I don't remember if my cousin told me or who told me, but it has maltodextrin in it. And it's like, why do you say stevia if you're not 100% stevia? So that was a little disappointing, but I love these containers. They're my flour sugar containers. I have some raw sugar, some packets that I put out for coffee and stuff. And then I have almond flour back there. This one I think is empty at the moment. My sweet potato and onion containers. And then this is kind of the grab snack little bin with chips and grab and eat a little bin. Then this one, and I bought these risers off of Amazon, is where we grab for all of this very easily. I have some aprons up here, our trash bags, and then all of this is like different sweeteners here. This one is a hot sauce that can go over here. So this is more for like baking and also pancakes and stuff. These are our favorite oils as well as vinegar. And yeah, most of this stuff is for my husband's hot sauce and barbecue sauce. And then back here I have some vanilla as well as the juices and apple cider vinegar. And the juices I use for the kombucha. And here's vinegar and my big honey back there. I need to start using these, so I may pull them out and put them over by our drink bar area so we remember to use those. It's unicity and it's supposed to be like appetite suppressant. I keep beer in here for making beer bread, and then our food saver when we buy in bulk we use. And then my husband uses this jello and Fruit Loops and marshmallows to attract the hogs, for trying to control the hog population, which is a big thing actually in all of the United States. If you've never heard of it, Google it. I promise you, you'll be shocked at how fast they reproduce and how destructive they are to the land. And now this space is empty because we moved those platters. We normally keep a case of water here. We don't really drink bottled water, but if we're going on a trip or friends that come over that are more inclined to drink them, we keep them on hand. But they're costly, and we just drink out of the refrigerator filter. And I keep my toaster in here. These two white buckets have sugar for, especially when I'm canning, I use a lot of sugar. And then flour. This is my backup flour. And this just keeps the bugs out. So again, living out in the country, it's just easier to have these on hand. I have a couple of charcuterie boards, and Those were gifts to me. And then I just bought these. We're going to eat these this weekend. We have guests coming over. And then I use this old pitcher to water my indoor plants with, and also to fill the outdoor kiddie bowl with. So that is what we're dealing with in here. And like I said, I think I want to move these. I may move this and that, organize that. And I've got to decide too, I might want some bigger containers for like the powdered sugar and make this a little bit more manageable, and decide if I want to keep these bins. I like these bins because they hang over, and so they give me more space and storage, and I like them for that purpose. So we will see what we end up with in here. I did buy a few more of these because I think I can put crackers in one, but let's see what we come up with. Let me show you the other pantry. Our laundry room pantry is here, and we have been slowly eating away at them. And you know, I forgot about that right there. And I'm going to pull that out and put it in the other pantry. But I made in another video these shelves. And so this is the original shelf, and then here's these shelves. I may have to remove one of these shelves because there's 1, 2, 3 of them if I'm going to move those other can containers over, but I'm not sure yet. But we'll consolidate these, we'll take inventory, and we're trying to eat through our canned meat that we did 5 years ago. And it's time to eat all of it. But yeah, I have room, so we are going to go through all of this, and mostly about reorganizing. Bought an extra one of these containers, and because I was afraid the lip on this is so low that if I tried stacking them, they would fall and slip slide. There's a song, slip slide and away. So I think I can do this. I think I'll put the smaller ones in front. I guess I could have just turned the whole thing around. Work smarter, not harder, Joyce. There you go. And I'm going to push it all the way to the back. Now, let me grab the blender and see if we can either, my idea would be to put it right here. So let me see if it'll fit. Oh, you know what? It has a cord thing on the back. I think it's come off a couple of times. And I also think I'm not real fond of it. Okay. Will it fit? It's squeezing on those, maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, can you see that? So it does fit right there in front. I have, this is going to expire pretty soon, so I'm going to keep it in front. I have flaxseed in another container too. Best by February 28th. So I have another inventory of this. I'm going to let this go. And then this is my chia seed. I'm going to let this one go too. So that frees up this tub that I had the blender in. And I think I can maybe put the crackers in it and make that more accessible. I'm liking the switcheroos. First the platters, now the blender. It's good. Okay, I'm pulling down the crackers. These are so wonderful. Rosemary currant crisps with a little bit of cream cheese and some of that hot spicy jelly. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I want them that way. I think I want them where I can see what I have more inventory of. So let's do that. Then I'll make a label for that. This is empty now. I'll pull that out. I'm trying to get away from plastic. But again, I send these home. Let me see if any of this fits down below in the other container. So I'll be right back. Okay, the rectangular ones did, and I'll show you at the end. This I use for leftover homemade ice cream, as well as like fruit slushy type of stuff. So I think it can go maybe in another container. And then the big round one, this one, I have another round one up there. So I will relocate that one there. So let me do that, and then I'll have another empty container. So I've moved the Tupperware stuff from the other shelf. I've consolidated the large storage containers, and I've moved the aluminum pans over there, and I pulled down the to-go cups. So I'm going to see if these to-go cups will fit in the drink bar area. So let's go do that. Okay, our drink bar area. The reason why I think it makes sense over here is because this is where our coffee station is. The other thing is, in those platters that I just moved into the corner, this was in there. It's stationary. It's not a Lazy Susan, but I thought, let me go ahead and pull that over here and put all of it together, and we'll give it a try. So I could put some of the containers up there, or that shelf is empty. So I think they're going to go up there. I'll take them out of this bin and reuse that bin. So let me go do that. Now I'm going to go grab a stool. Okay, I had this in my closet where I keep my bins that are extra. So I am going to go ahead and donate 8 cups and 8 lids. I'll have this empty now, and that serves well. Yeah, that'll work. I like it. Well, we've gotten 3 bins out of here already. 3. Like, this is good. And all those. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to put up here? I have ideas. I do have ideas. So the next thing I want to do is take these out. They're not even full. So, yeah. I feel like this is going to be empty. Look, oh my goodness. Look how empty this is now. It's going through my mind as well, should I move the potatoes? But there is a lady who has a channel called The Cross Legacy. Talks about how your onions and your potatoes need to be like a few feet away from each other. So maybe moving, but then it's too hard for me to reach. So I don't think that's going to happen. These over here are too crowded. They really are. And I could take the pecans out. But then where am I putting the pecans? In the snack bin? But I use them for baking. We don't normally eat on them, but we could. Maybe the snack bin needs to be just like the chips and stuff, and I can pull the nut jars out of there. Let's pull the nut jars out. Just kind of staggered them for now. I think that'll be okay. Those are Zens, it looks like. Did I mark on them? Yes, I did. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit better. This is a big bag of cornstarch, and it is old, and I have a newer one in with my spices, so I'm gonna let this one go. It has to be expired. It is really old. This is really a small, tight pantry, so please forgive me for the challenges. Okay, dark brown sugar, swerve powder, brown sugar, cornmeal. And I have more cornmeal, but I need to use this up and then wash it before I refill it. Powdered sugar. That's still good. Wheat crumbs. And then this is dehydrated stuff to make sourdough. And I'm going to do that maybe when we come back from vacation. So I think that looks better. It's not overflowing now. I almost feel like I need another turntable for condiments or something. Okay, let me go. I'm going to get my step stool again, and we're going to go up here to the condiment. Oh, there's a bunch of barbecue sauce up here. I bet you my husband does not know about or remember. Let's put my vanilla in there. Velveeta can come down here with the chips. When I cleaned out my kitchen cabinet drawers, this was in there. I did not take the time to open this up and put them away. So now they're put away. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I just did. This right here, I was just messing around with it. Okay, I'm wondering if I should move some of my baking stuff. And I tried to share with you my thought process. Like I have baking here and the oils here, so they're all in the same kind of general area. And then I have the sugar and the flours and all of that. And now I've got pasta over here, which doesn't make sense. So my fruits and stuff. Yeah, move that over. I think I'll get that other coconut and put it behind this one for the extra. I'm just trying to decide if I want to move, like, should I move flour up here and keep the sweeteners down on the shelf? Because it's really hard to get back there to the flour. I have to pull things out. So maybe I'll do that and I can move the salt and the milk down. Let me play around with it, but I'm gonna go get that other coconut oil. Okay, here is what I've done so far. I brought in the other coconut oil. It's behind there. I've moved the flour and the almond flour up from this shelf up there. And then I have gone ahead and refilled the cornmeal, and I put the best by date on it with marker that can be wiped off. I moved the raw cane sugar over from this corner to this, so this is most of my sweeteners that are non-sugar. I was able to move these out of the corner and here. I put the powdered milk back there, the pickling salt back there, and I still have some dead space back there, which is fine. Not everything has to be full. So this is good. This is good. I put the vinegar back here. And I'm not going to change any of that. This looks better now that I have the crackers up here and the nuts right there. If the nuts needed to go back in here, they could. We're trying to stay away from chips. That's why he does pork rinds more so. But when we have family over, this becomes full with chips. So I've got all that empty space right now. Let me work on this legumes and rice. I probably need to label that this also has barbecue sauce so my husband realizes it. Okay. We just bought these. I think I need to get like a bigger gallon size jar for our pinto beans, because right now they are in 2 of these. I think what I want to do is move the rice and quinoa and stuff out of here and into a smaller one, and then make this one dedicated for beans. So let me go get the smaller one and move those over without knocking you down. I guess I could move my little cookie cutters down to that empty space too. So this again is from Walmart. It's just not as wide. So quinoa and rice, quinoa and grains. That's rice. It's so heavy. I think I want a bigger gallon size one for the pinto beans. Okay, let me pull these down so I don't break things. Knock on wood, it hasn't happened yet. Oh gosh, my feet are stuck. Okay, shifting. Oh goodness. Hold on. Maybe I need, I don't know what I need. Okay. I need more jars. Okay, so that's lentils. They overhang, that won't work. That's quinoa. Okay, so let me get some more jars. And I'm going to put these in the jars. I'm just trying to think. I could get another one of these tubs and put the smaller jars in so I can pull them off and out easily. So maybe I'll do that. I'm going to have to wash some jars, but let me go do that and I will come back again. I also just moved the cookie cutters back there, and then for cupcakes right there. I'm gonna ask my husband about the toaster. We don't use it very much, especially because we have a toaster oven and we also do toast like in the skillet. So I may be able to donate that. Why do we feel the need to fill space? I don't know. So I also have the big container of garbage bags that I can go ahead and move up here. But again, it's freeing up floor space. I could bring in, when I start canning a lot, bring in all of my vinegar into here, as well as some canning jars on the floor. It doesn't mean that the floor has to stay empty. So I'm gonna move those garbage bags up. You guys, I think I may hang that right there. I'm gonna take us over to the other pantry and we shall see if we can move anything over there into here. I took out 3 of the tubs and I need to make some labels. So progress, let's do it. Let's keep going. Let me know if you've done your pantry lately. This is about my 3rd time on the pantry. It's part of the big switcheroo, right? It doesn't have to work for you for the rest of your life. You keep adapting and adjusting, and that's what we're doing today. So let's keep going. Before we go over, just going to show you what it looks like right now. I've made labels for the crackers. And I was able to move those 2 up from the floor. And more labels for those. Yeah, it's looking good. I have a big empty space over here. So we'll see what, if anything, needs to go up there. I'm gonna jump in here and ask that if you like this kind of content, Please like, subscribe, and hype. It helps others find the same inspiration. Thank you. Okay, as a reminder, this is the before. So I will probably do a voiceover as I go through dealing with this. And I brought over these. Let's do a quick measure. I think I'd have to keep them single. So it's got that bar on it. So that's like 7.5 inches. So I could put one. If I took one of these out, I could do one. I'm going to move the pickles I have down here. And I've got to take some of this to a cousin. These are the ones we like, so keep that, keep that. It's time for voiceover joys. So guys, what you're seeing me do is basically just moving everything around to like things with like, and then I'll be moving our canned meats up so I can take that shelf out. So this is canned chicken, chicken breast, chicken thighs. I have some canned roast beef, and we canned all of that 5 years ago. And the recommendation is a shelf life of about 5 years. It can go longer, but supposedly it starts losing its nutritional value or quality value if it goes longer than that. So our goal is to finish that up. I will then go ahead and take this shelf out, and a lot of this is experimentation. Does it fit? Does it work? And I just really highly recommend that you don't live with your pantries the way you initially set them up, or even if you've had them like that for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Is it working for you anymore? Are things becoming expired because you can't easily access them? That's kind of what has prompted some of this for me, but more than just that, just easy access to high demand items. So I've got to take this shelf out for this experiment. So I've got to pull all this stuff out. I'm gonna come right back. So I was able to use 4 of these. 3 fit on this one shelf, and a 4th one fit on the shelf below it. And I moved one set of these back into the other pantry. So I think this is going to work. Let's hear more. It holds 12 cans like that. So I don't know that that's the best use of space, but it will help us to get the inventory rolling, I think, a little bit better than having to like reach all the way in the back. So we'll try it for a while and see how it works. Okay, let me load some more up and I'll come back. Here is the after of the laundry room pantry. It was just a lot of moving around and also pulling out expired or the best by date. And some of the best by date, I will eat beyond that. But if it's a tomato product where it's acidic and it's been in the can, that to me needs to go. It starts tasting metallic. So I obviously need to replenish some things, but as I can more, it's gonna fill up again. All right, I also found these in my other closet. So they're canned tomatoes. I went ahead and moved those over. Okay guys, I did go through these packets and was able to get rid of a couple that are expired. Look how much floor space we have now because we moved those platters over and we're able to move some of this stuff up on the shelf. This bottom shelf we didn't really change too much, except we took garbage bags and put them up there. So didn't change that too much. Here I went ahead and decanted the cornmeal, organized this a little bit more. Same thing here, took out some stuff like the nuts, the pecans, moved the flour from this shelf up above. And yeah, it was a switcheroo again. Now I did go ahead and leave 2 of these in here. One I'm going to keep for just soups, and the other one is for my fruit or even my like pet milk kind of products like this maybe. And yeah, out of here I took out our nuts. This is my husband's like granola, and so this just made this less crowded. I moved this crock that I had electronics in, believe it or not, and I moved our bread. We don't eat a ton of bread, but we're having company, so I was keeping this on the kitchen counter. I decided to go ahead and move it into here because I had the space. I created a cracker box. I didn't have one. And then I have my pasta back there and the peanut butter here. And I think that's it for that shelf. And then up here, we got rid of a tub that had like to-go storage because now it's either in here or it's in the cabinet that I'll show you. But we have extra room that we didn't necessarily have before. And I separated out the beans and the rice, and I have the pinto beans, which are in the larger container over there. That corner is completely empty as well. So we've been doing good about eating our inventory. And now let me show you what we have decluttered, and which is going to include the toaster. I still need to hang this item, but yeah, it's looking so good, guys. So good. Right down here, just as a reminder, this is our after. So the blender, which was in the pantry, is now here. And then these little few plastic items I have are there. And I was able to put a bin here, so it brought the sides up to store it better. So that is great. Now let's see what we decluttered. All right, we're decluttering the cornstarch, these I'm going to look and see if the food bank wants these. Some of them are not expired. Some of them are just expired by a couple of months, and I'll let them decide whether they want to keep those or not. We're going to donate these to the thrift shop, and my husband said yes on decluttering the toaster. These are very expired because of the acidity to them. I'm going to go ahead and trash those. These were the yeast we'll actually use in our septic tank, so I'll keep those and use them, but not for cooking. And then these are from the pantry door. And finally, as a reminder, this makes me happy. I love having these in here instead of the pantry floor. And then look at all these containers. So I actually have 3 that I was able to pull out, 1 that I was able to reuse. And so these will go into other projects for other people that I'm going to help. So guys, that's it. Why do these things make us so happy? It gives us endorphins. It's orderly. Now, will it stay orderly? No, of course not. I live with someone else, and when people come and visit, it will change up, and I change my mind quite frequently. And as I restock things too, it will fill up. But I'm not going to stock as much as I have in the past. And we don't eat a ton of canned food. It's stuff that we can ourselves. But I am just so thrilled that I took the time to get this done. And it took me probably 2.5 hours because there was a lot of switcherooing going on and pulling out and putting in and trying things out. And that's just the way it goes. Tell me if you have been able to tackle your pantries and your kitchen this month with me. I would love to hear from you. I've got some exciting things coming up next month It's going to be a collaboration with, I think, 5 or 6 other channels, and it will be weekly. We are going to declutter 100 different things from a list. It will be 25 per week, so it is something that is easier to do, but I am excited to do it with y'all. The person that has made all of it possible, and I have been kind of the admin leader behind it, has been Shannon Torrance. She was my inspiration of getting these collaborators together. She had it's probably over a year ago or 16 months ago, she had a video that was this 100 list. And I knew I wanted to do it, but I knew I could not even attempt to do it until I had done a first round through my entire house. And what was holding me back was my garages, my storage sheds, and my kitchen. But I think now that I have done those, that list is going to be a little bit easier. So I'm excited to do it with all of these wonderful YouTubers, and I hope that you will join us in our April journey. All right, guys, I'm going to close like my dad always closed his voicemail messages. Bye for now.